Okay, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I begin with this lesson, I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakudash. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahushai is the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Double honors to the apostles, the elders at Great Millstone, who do well and teach well, and are the true leaders of Israel today, which Israel consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and you scattered abroad Israelites that may look like the other nations, but believe on the names of Yahweh and Yahushai and the doctrine given to us by the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone. Shalom, shalom. And shalom to the whole full elect, man, you Ak, man, your brothers pushing this word to the four corners of the earth with all truth and sincerity, making your calling and election sure, man. Hey, shalom, shalom. Federal agents have shot and killed another person in Minneapolis, and what's happening over there is they're having a protest, right? Riots, right? And it says this situation is currently developing.
Yo, we need people on site, man, and they keep pushing people, you know?
It's just a matter of time before the one goes ahead and crack this thing.
Oh shit! What the fuck? They killed him? Did they fucking kill that guy? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Not again! Are you fucking kidding me? That guy's dead.
The scriptures talk about situations like this and how you're supposed to conduct yourself. Check this. Right here. Today's larger story. Can U.S. history for the past... Today's a larger story. Can U.S. history for the past 70 years, and it's happening right now in Minneapolis with the statewide strike in all Minnesota. All businesses in Minneapolis are shut down and it's negative 30 out with 20,000 people outside. Hey, man, call for law Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And look, this is not the only protest happening. This is not the only protest like your strike that's happening right now in the world. It's happening all over. You know, they're just not putting it on the news. So this is, again, Akim, through the prophecies, we are what? We are winning. I actually have everything already pulled up. This is the book of, I actually don't have that one. Second Ezra, chapter 9. You brothers know where I'm going with this. But again, you know, this song sounds repetitive, but it has to be repetitive because what we had to really instill this into Jake's head, man, and ourselves, right? We got to keep on, you know, confirming ourselves that, you know, hey, what we're teaching, what we're bringing out with the prophecies, that, hey, we're good, we're on point, and we're warning the people, right, pursuant to the book of Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter, man. So this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Which is why 2nd Ezra, Revelations 19 and 10, the spirit and testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. Right? So you gotta what? Be as watchmen. Right? Measure thou the time diligently. How do you measure the time diligently? Via the prophecies, right? The RFID microchip being the main, you know, catapult to, you know, the end of Esau Edom society, world, right, as we know it, and the beginning of World War III on a full scale. Uproars of the people, which is going to go on and say, right, the uproars of the people, jobs shutting down. That's in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, which I can get right now. You know, let's go ahead and get that just to back up that point. Ecclesiastes. Hey, man, the scriptures are on point. Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, read that and start at verse 1. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 12 and 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. And the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. You see? Verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. When the sound of grinding is low, he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. You see? Also, when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail, because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. Or ever the silver cord be loosed, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cistern. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it. Vanities of vanity, saith the preacher, all is vanity. Soon, this career you worked so hard for to go up in, whatever you were, that was motivating you to keep going in life. Us, talking about, Jake that's just in the world, and the people that are just in the world. When this shit hits the fan and it goes down, guess what? You don't know what, you're going to be sad. You don't know what to do. You see, they said what? Because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets, just walking around. Hey, man, this is the time that we're getting ready to come into. He said, let's get into it.
Today is the largest strike in American history in the past 70 years, and it's happening right now in Minneapolis, a statewide strike in Minnesota. You can see behind me, people are out here. Union workers are shutting down. Stores everywhere are shutting down. Students are refusing to go to class, and the streets are occupied everywhere here in Minneapolis.
This is going to get crazy, man. This is the beginning. This is what we all hope for. This is what we all have been waiting for. This is what we need to happen. Call Layal Bashim Shai, right? So let's go ahead and go in 2 Esdras 9 chapter, verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. All right. This is a sign of the end manifesting itself. Ooh, I got out of it. Salaki. It's all good. Damn, I have all these different apps open. This is a sign of the end manifesting. And let's go ahead and watch the rest of this video.
Negative 30 degrees. The revolution is here.
Remember, this is going to start to the point where they're going to go against why protest go, because it is easier than hiding a family in your attic. You see, the revolution will not be televised. Hey, man, it's about to get crazy out here. This is the beginning of, let's go ahead and get that. That's actually in the book of 2 Esdras, the 16th chapter. Yep. 2 Esdras chapter 16 and verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And you may be asking yourself, but bro, there's nothing really happening crazy. They're just protesting. Just wait until, boom, someone gets shot, martial law is declared, people got to go back to the crib, and people aren't having it anymore, and they come out and things just start going, left field. Plague, like they're going to drop. They already said there's a new disease out. Lockdowns could be coming back in the midst of, all these protests. Esau Edom is getting ready to lose it. And that's also in the movie Leave the World Behind. He said, there's this conspiracy of a cabal, running the world. And then he went on to say, but what's scarier? When no one's pulling the strings, meaning no one is in control. That's in the book. It goes on to say, is it 2 Esdras 16th chapter? Let's see. This is a beautiful. You can really read this all the way down, but it's actually in the book of 2 Esdras, the 15th chapter. Yep. Let's start at 2 Esdras 15 and verse. I can really start at verse 1, so we'll go ahead and go into that. Behold, speak down the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, and not the incredulity of them that trouble thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee, right? Those that have no faith, that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, right? We don't really got to worry about what you people think. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Hey, these plants being shut down, these businesses being shut down in the midst of the dollar collapsing, in the midst of, you know, the economy, going down, and Esau Edom getting ready to bring in this new world order via that, currency, that digital currency. It's beautiful, man. It's playing out exactly how, these elites wanted to play out, and furthermore, how prophecy has it laid out. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. You guys are done for. Therefore saith Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more as touching the wickedness which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Man, that's us Akim, man. You see us brothers, we're weird out. We're weird out here, man. We're tired. We gotta continue in this wicked ass kingdom. We still gotta continue in this. Hey, what did it say? Just Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Right, we're still in this bitch, man. Having to fucking go to work. Brothers probably have fucking moles in their workplace. Brothers got to deal with all types of shit that, man, we're just praying to Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai to just come back already, man. Verse 9, and therefore saith Yahweh, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, talking about America, Babylon the Great. And this is why you have that pyramid on the dollar bill, because Esau Edom knows that this is America. This America, Babylon the Great, is spiritually Egypt. Verse 11, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plagues and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fall through the blasting in hell, and with a fearful consolation. Remember, there's going to be soon, if I'm not mistaken, there's going to be a great winter storm, man. So that, is going to stop crops from growing. Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And that's why I brought out that video earlier. I already took it off. It was on my Instagram. Brothers could go ahead back and screenshot the username and go into that video. But that's what's gonna start these uprising, man. People, one people standing up and fighting against another with guns in their hands, man. That's what the swords entails on this side. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. That's what's getting ready to happen. That's the beginning, of the end manifesting itself. Because once Jacob's trouble cracks, and shit is hitting the fan on a full blown scale. People in the, pandemonium in the streets. People shooting each other, going against the cops going against the people, and it's just all just straight hell just going out. Hey, that's the end, bro. Because remember, Ordo Ab Ko. Esau's going to use this in order for him to go ahead and bring that charagma, that new world order system. Verse 16, for there shall be, verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, and shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. But hey, us brothers, we don't got to worry about that. How Bashim Yahushua is going to guide us to, like he did to Elijah. He's going to guide us to water, food, our necessities that we need, right? Behold, saith the Most High, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south and from the east, and Lebanon to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them. Yeah, you see, the Most High is going to put the spirit on these, people, these nations to fight, go to war. But nonetheless, that's pretty much the point, man. Hey, we're getting ready to witness this. Jacob's trouble is getting ready to begin. So, hey, I can, brace yourselves, focus on the ministry. Shit's about to get, cranked up here in a few, literally in a few soon. 2nd Ezra 15 to 2nd Ezra 16. Isaiah, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, so on, Isaiah, these prophetic books that go into, the time of, Jacob's trouble. And, shit hitting the fan. Hey, only the elect are going to make it via spiritual powers, man. All right, so go and read 2nd Ezra 15 and 16 because this is what's getting ready to happen. 2nd Ezra is the 15th chapter, man. This laid out perfectly everything that's getting ready to happen after this. And you know what? It might not, it might just brush over and go back down, but nonetheless, this is what needs to happen. This is going to be a turning point. Me through the Spirit, I believe this is what's going to cause Jacob's trouble to really come into full-fledged. But you never know. It's always on the Lord's timing. So, Lord willing, it does. We've been wanting this thing to crack, yesterday. So, Lord willing, this has been edifying and exhorting to the whole full elect. I was going to bring out Mark 3 and 24. I could get it. Mark 3 and 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but have an end. And who is the physical embodiment of Satan? As Esau Edom. You're having these Edomites. I don't know if that's a Jake or not, but
Today is the Lord's.
yes, you have Edomites in that
Striking American
against
history in the past
their own people. Because the reason ISIS set up is because hey, these elites, they want to get rid of these Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom. They want to start laying you brothers out. Simply put it. But who do you got in the midst? You got Edomites. I mean, I don't know if the bro's an Edomite or not, but you definitely got some Edomites here in the crowd saying no, we don't want that to happen. So Esau, Edom, you're all divided. Your people are all divided. You're going against your own nation. You guys are not on one accord. And hey, this was going to cause you guys' downfall. So, with that, I want to close out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Kakodash. Remember, Akim, this is getting ready to crack. It's ready to go down. Hey, soon the nukes are going to be shot out. And, we're going to be on the way back home, man. So, hey,